Hey, Julia, thanks for joining us today on the Teens Unleashed podcast. This is our first podcast, so I'm super excited to start and have those conversations about our teens.
Hello, I'm very excited as well.
So I thought today, Julia, we might just start off with, obviously we know each other super well. We have been through a bit of a career roller coaster together and have been through the ups and downs of young adulthood. And I thought it would be great to start off with talking about where it all started and pretty much how you got to where you are now. So do you want to sort of pretty much tell me, like, where'd you grow up, what high school did you go to, and go from there.
Okay, cool. I've had a bit of a journey. So some of the sort of followers out there may know I wasn't actually born in Australia. I was born in South Africa. So I moved from South Africa as a little 4-year-old to Adelaide. I went to a Sunrise Christian school actually in Adelaide for a few years. And then I moved again to Perth, where I spent most of my primary school and high school years. Primary school was in beautiful South Perth Primary, and high school was at Perth Modern, which was an art school at the time when I was there. But yeah, for me, high school was quite a complicated time. I feel like I did struggle a little bit with sort of a little bit of bullying, a little bit of self-confidence issues. But I really sort of found myself when I left high school and I went to TAFE. So I studied photography and did that at TAFE for a few years and then moved into fashion styling online as well. So that was kind of my journey with primary school to high school. Yeah.
What was it like? So what age did you move to Perth? How old were you?
I think I was about 9 or 10.
Wow.
Around year 3, whatever that is. I can't even remember.
That's a massive transition. And so, like, what was, like, I suppose at the age of 10, that's when you're sort of learning, how the world works and how to, build friendships. And what was that transition? I suppose it was such a long time ago, but what was that transition like with the two different cultures moving into, an Australian school coming from South Africa? And tell me about that.
It was actually really difficult. Now I'm not shy, but I was very shy as a child. My friends are like, no, you're not shy at all. But I was really shy. So when I moved from South Africa to Adelaide, I had a South African accent. I didn't feel like I was very attractive as a kid. Like, I had a massive gap tooth, I had an overbite, and I had an accent. So imagine starting school where people are like, what's wrong with your voice? You sound weird. My last name as well wasn't a normal last name compared to Australian last names. So I got teased for my last name. So it was a little bit challenging. Moving from Adelaide to Perth was a little bit easier because obviously I'd been in Australia for a few years. And that was still scary though, starting year 3, not knowing anyone, whereas most kids had sort of gone from kindy into year 1, 2, and 3 together. So that was also very challenging, but luckily on my first day, a girl took my hand and was like, I'm going to be your friend. And that was really, really helpful.
Oh my God, we all need that girl in our life.
I know, and I'm still friends with her today. So that's, our family.
Well, that's super really special. Oh, wow. So I suppose you said you're doing fashion styling online at TAFE. What made you decide that you wanted to do TAFE or not university? Like, why TAFE?
So when I was in year 9 and year 10 and you started to move into more select subjects, I found myself gravitating towards the art subjects as opposed to the academic ones. I loved writing, I loved English, but I really didn't have any interest in science or maths or anything like that. When I looked at TAFE programs, they were really focused on hands-on learning. So that was why I was quite driven towards leaving school, going to TAFE, as opposed to going down a university route where you sort of are stuck in one course for a good few years. With TAFE, you can kind of do a year of something and then change your mind. So that worked for me. It actually really did, because it was good for my creative sort of.
And you had brain. The support from your family and friends, they were all for you going to TAFE. There was no pressure on going to university, or?
Surprisingly not. My mum and dad, I made them a little booklet of why I wanted to go to TAFE. So I was very prepared. I was like, this is
pros
what I
and
want to
cons.
do. Yeah, this is the pros. And like at first they might have been a little bit hesitant, but
Yeah.
they saw I did my research. So yeah, they trusted me.
Oh, well, that's honestly like having your parents' support is like the number one thing, because in the end you're under their roof, and without their support, like, you know, that can be a bigger roller coaster than what it already is. So yeah, that's amazing. And
Thank you.
I suppose now, where are you now? What are you doing now? Yeah. What are you doing now?
I've had a massive career change. So I did stay in the fashion industry for a while. I worked for some beautiful big brands in Australia for about 10 years. But after COVID, I changed industries completely. So I'm actually about to go into a new role. I know, about to go into a new role for an Australian trades company, and I will be their executive assistant.
Amazing. And so I know you're writing something super special. So tell me about that.
Yes. So on top of my jobs, I have always had my writing in the back of my mind. So I have been working on a book it's for sort of the 20-year-old market, but it can sort of relate to people prior to being 20 and maybe even a little bit after their 20s. It's just about getting through life and all of the hurdles we have to overcome, especially when you're new to, you know, university, or you're new to renting for the first time, saving your own money, relationships. It covers all of the things I went through personally in my 20s, and it's sort of aimed to reach to that market.
Yes, and I have read the first 10 pages, everyone, and I can confirm
good.
Amazing. As you know, my life's a bit crazy, so sitting down and reading a book isn't priority some days, but I wish it was, and that's my 2023 thing. I'm going to finish a book in 6 months.
You have 2 beautiful children. You're amazing. 10 pages is a lot.
I suppose, well, thank you for sharing. I'll go through a little bit about who I am. I'm 26. I moved out of home when I was 18. I moved up to the beautiful beaches in Sydney with a lot of passion for fashion, as cliche as that is. I was literally on the computer at school one day in year 12, and I was like, I'm going to apply for this diploma, and it was a diploma of fashion business. And I applied thinking it was like the bee's knees. Like, we're talking like it was like going to be working for Vogue. Like, I thought I was the best when I got in.
I remember that feeling.
And I got in, and it was amazing. And I moved to Coogee, which is a little beach town. Well, it's not little, it's the eastern suburbs of Sydney. And moved there, started the diploma, and then I also got an internship at Style Runner, which was super exciting. It's as everyone knows now, it's a huge athleisure, massive now. And I started there literally picking and packing orders. I thought it was, again, the bee's knees at 18, living in Sydney, working for Style Runner, doing a diploma in fashion. I thought, this is where I'm at. And then from that, I was so lucky to just meet the right people, and I got a 3-month internship at Vogue magazine. And that was a massive eye-opener, and I think I sort of learned a bit more about who I was as a person, being pushed to boundaries I've never sort of been in, in the spaces that I've been before, because as everyone knows, Vogue is huge, and you're working at a very, very fast pace. You're doing 12-hour days, and it's not the easiest. So I think I learned a lot about myself and who I was living in Sydney and working for these big brands. And I think it made me shift into a bit of an entrepreneurial area. I thought I could do all this myself. So I actually ended up moving back to Melbourne.
How old were you then?
I was still 18. I was only
18.
You're
still 18. Wow.
Yeah. So when I moved back to Melbourne, I think I was nearly 19. And I started an activewear brand called Radar. So it was an online activewear platform where all the products were tested and, you know, proven to be the best of the best. And I wanted to make sure that I was giving the best to my customers.
How did you sort of get that started? Because I feel like starting your own business would be really, really tough.
I think I just like kept my ears up when I was working for these other brands, because obviously I was still working. I was working in retail, just in a shop at that moment. So I was sort of just like taking in everything, you know, from people I looked up to. And if you don't take that risk, you're never going to know. And that's a massive thing for me. And you'll always hear this in the podcast, that if you don't take the risk, you're never going to know. And, you know, it might be a really crap risk and you might get no results from it. But hey, like, you're not going to look in 10, 20 years and be like, oh, I should have done that. You know, look, I could have achieved big and now I'm still sitting here at a desk and talking to people on the phone. So I think that for me, I had really supportive parents as well. My mum and dad were like, just give it a go. You know, shit happens if you don't, you know, if you don't do well. So yeah, I did Radar for about 1.5 years, and the retail market is super hard. You've really got to find a point of difference. I kept going on Radar for 3 years. And just slowly changed, I suppose, avenues. I didn't continue with Radar just for a number of factors. I didn't have that passion there anymore. And I think if you don't have that passion, change what you're doing, because 100%. Passion is everything. Passion and risk are the two massive things. So yeah, I faded out Radar, and I was just working. That's where I met you. I met you at Country Road Group, and we worked together there in customer service. And if I
for about 3 years, together.
Yeah, it was actually like a long time.
I think so.
Yeah, like, and you would totally agree. Customer service, like everyone that's listening today, like customer service is where you need to start if you want to be in production or marketing or online. Like, you have to start from the bottom. You know, sadly, there is a lot of people that just go straight to the top because it is who you know and not always what you know. But if I can give any advice, it's to start in customer service, because you know who your customer is, you know how the business works. You meet so many different people from all around the business, from IT to marketing to production to styling to photography, like everyone. And they're the people in the end that are going to get you your dream job. So
and it boosts your confidence as well with speaking to customers or clients in the future. You know, you have that presence with people when you go into an interview or a meeting. 100%.
Yeah, and I think like that's probably every teenager I speak to in my coaching. They're like, well, how did you get to where you are? It's like, you've got to start from the bottom and you've got to do the groundwork. You can't, as frustrating as it is, you have to do the groundwork. And you know, we did the groundwork and you know, we're still striving to where we want to be. But honestly, like, I have learned more working customer service than I have doing a business degree, to be completely honest.
Agree.
Yeah, so after that, I met a beautiful guy and we had a little girl, Violet, together. And one day in a rainy, cold afternoon in Melbourne, he was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Let's move to Bali. And I was like, okay, let's move to Bali. I had been to Bali once.
Oh my God, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. And I have been to Bali once when I was 4 weeks pregnant. So I hadn't even like done the whole Bali Seminyak leg in like party. So I was like, sure. So we sold everything we had, like literally everything we had, our cars. And I think it was like 5 months later, we moved to Bali. And my partner at the time, he had started a skincare label a year previously called Coca Spell. and he needed to get that off the ground and get that running. So I came in with my expertise in customer service and marketing, and launched the product over here. It was already made over here.
Which is a beautiful product, by the way, everyone. We have it in our house.
Thank you. And like 2 years later, we're still living in Bali. We've got 2 beautiful children, 2 dogs. It's pretty much, wow. I've got 4 kids under 3. And we have a Cokesfell store. We've opened it here in Bali, and it's pretty much my dream come true and my husband's dream come true to be living in such a beautiful place. Not all sunshine and butterflies, I will tell everyone that. There is a lot of shit that goes down.
I bet.
But, we live this beautiful life and we're running our own business. I also launched a kidswear brand called Meet the Dreamers, and I run that over here as well, and that's doing really well. And then, of course, Teens Unleashed, which is a coaching program for teens, but I've joined with you, Julia, to create an incredible podcast. So that's sort of me.
You've accomplished a lot, must I say. And she's 26. I'm actually 29. So you've done amazing, Tess.
Hey,
in a short amount of time.
You've come across the world, babe. That's
that's true.
A lot. And you've written a book, like this book, everyone, like you need to get your hands on it when she finally launches it. It's something that everyone's going to be able to relate to. But I suppose why we're doing this podcast, Julia, is because we have such a passion for that young adulthood age. The 14 to 17-year-old age is like such a crucial age, especially in today's society. Post-COVID especially, all our teens were locked up for so long, not being able to socialize, and everything was just moved towards social media, and communication was online, and which, don't get me wrong, is amazing when you're across the world, or you're having a day and you just want to be at home. But I think it really challenged our teens and has created this sense of, I don't need to go speak to someone in person because I can just text them. Yes. Which is really changing the behavior and the way like friendships are formed. And this podcast is all about, upgrading our teens' mindset, upgrading your mindset, and having these purposeful and relevant conversations with you guys to really make you think and change your perspective on how you may think of things, and also how to become an entrepreneur. I'm not perfect at it. There's so many things that, I can't wait to share with you, and experiences that we're going to share with you that hopefully leave you with lots of excitement or, goal setting, and make you really think about what you want, not what anyone else wants, not what your friends want, not what your teacher wants, not what your mum wants. Love you, mum. Yes. But it's about what you want, but having those conscious conversations and writing down those pros and cons. Is there anything like you want to add, Julia? Like what
that is what I'm thinking. Self-confidence and being more sure of yourself, because I know as a teenager, I definitely wasn't. Yeah. And just making you guys feel like you've got a space where you can tune in and find that confidence in yourself by listening to what we're talking about. Maybe you'll get something out of each episode and take it away and work on it from home yourself.
Yeah. And as some of you may know, I have a Teens Unleashed six-week program, which we go through all about how to upgrade our mindset and how to change our way of thinking, physically, emotionally, everything. So I really want to incorporate the program into this podcast as well, because we want you to leave with something. We just don't want you to leave with a conversation in your head. We want you to leave making some sort of change. It might be something so small like, writing in a diary every night, or, changing a subject at school because you're not really passionate about art anymore. So, and pretty much university isn't the be all and end all, both Julia and I did not go to university.
Can vouch.
And look, university is fabulous, but it is not the end game. I got a 40 on my ATAR. So like that is like the lowest.
I didn't finish school by choice.
Julie didn't finish.
Yeah. Because you don't have to do everything the way you think you have to do it, or your parents think you have to do it. You just need to
portrays, as you would totally relate, Julia, you get to like year 10 and it's just like this cloud comes over your head and they're like, what do you want to do with your life? And it's like, oh my God, I'm 16. I just want to like be me. Like, I don't want to think about what I want to do for the rest of my life, because that's another thing. What you choose to do when you are 18, you may have a completely different career change at 30. And that is totally okay, because this one over here did, and I did as well. So that is okay. And I think in this podcast, we're going to have those conversations and allow you to think and it to be okay to have those big career changes, and, I can do a whole 360 on what you want. And so that's sort of what we'll be talking about. And as Julia said before, we'll talk about body image, body positivity, how to have those conversations with your friends when you are feeling a little bit pressured and you're not wanting to do something. We'll definitely have those conversations and giving you the tools and giving you the toolbox to enter that.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yay! So we are going to, I'm going to pause this, Julia, hang on. Also, guys, are you a tween looking for simple, gentle, and effective skincare? Tweeny Skin has joined Teens Unleashed for...
I thought I was saying, sorry, am I...
You're saying?
Oh my God.
We'll start again, ready?
No, but what am I saying?
Hey, so you're saying... I know
I'm saying use the code.
So when I say that, then you'll be like, use the code Tweens Unleashed for an incredible offer.
Okay.
Change your skincare routine.
It felt like I was meant to say something else because you paused and I was like, that doesn't make sense.
Okay, let me start again.
Okay.
Make up something. Hey guys, Tweens Unleashed has joined us for an... Oh, fuck, hang on. Okay. Hey teens, Tweeny Skin has joined us. Oh no, that's not what I wanted to say.
Okay, good, at least not just me.
Okay. I can't do this.
I know. It's too fake for us.
Hey tweens, are you looking for effective? Oh no, fuck, start again. Okay. Are you looking for simple, gentle, and effective skincare for yourself? Tweeny Skin has
unleashed a beautiful offer. Use your code. Oh my God.
You were so good. You were so good.
Okay.
Like it was.
All right, let's go again.
Okay.
Let's go again.
Oh my God, what did I even say? Are you looking for simple, gentle, and effective skincare? Tweeny Skin has
unleashed a beautiful offer to start your skincare routine fresh in the new year. Use the code TWEENUNLEASHED, which is all one word. Do you want me to spell it? Sorry.
No, because I'll put it in the show notes. So just say,
okay. We'll find it in the show notes. Is it Tweens Unleashed or Tween Unleashed? Tweens. Tweens?
I don't know.
I'll just say Tweens Unleashed and you can put it in the show notes.
Okay. Okay.
All right, give me one more time.
Okay. And then after that, just say, and it'll be in the show notes.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Just a short break for some simple, gentle, and effective skincare for yourself. Tweeny Skin has
unlocked an amazing offer to start the new year fresh. please use the code Tweens Unleashed, which will be given in the show notes today.
Woo! How amazing. I think I need some of that in my life.
I hope that was okay.
Killed it. Absolutely killed it. Thanks for everyone joining us today. I hope that gave you a little bit. We wanted to introduce ourselves, of course, first, because you don't want to listen to these random people on a podcast and be like, I don't even know who you are. So, and why should I even listen to you? Because who are you and what are you going to give me? So, because who doesn't want something for free? So thanks everyone for joining us. We will get a podcast out to you every week or fortnight, and we'll give you some great goodness, some conscious conversations. Everything will be all on your agenda, and we would love to hear your comments and any reviews that you may have. We'd love to hear from you. Julia, over to you.
Any topics that you guys maybe want covered that we can look into? This is just a beautiful safe space for you all to listen in, tune into from wherever you are, whether it's in the car with your headphones on, whether it's on the way to school, on the bus. We want to be your sort of new
safe
besties.
Haven.
Yeah.
And besties in a safe haven.
Yes.
Because as you all know, we're under 30. We've all been with you where you guys have been. We've all been through those ups and downs of being a teen. We've tried lots of new things, and we want to be there next to you. We want to be that person that you can listen to for a bit of a break. And we're super passionate.
And I think as well, I think we actually went to school when social media sort of started becoming quite popular. So unlike our parents who probably don't gauge what we went through during high school, we've got a better insight to that world. So
absolutely. And I think MSN was totally around when we were around, and MySpace. But so we have been where you guys have been. We have been through the deepest and the darkest times as well.
Heartbreaks, friendship breakups.
Oh my God, friendship, cat fights, boyfriends, everything.
First job situations. Yeah.
And, the pressures of being in high school. And of course, confidence. I think, like I was saying previously, like having that confidence after post-COVID is just something that a lot of teens think like they will need to work on, because getting out there in the big bad world, as they all say,
it is, and it's a big bad world.
Hard.
It is.
Yeah. And I think as well, job interviews and things like that is definitely something we'll cover, because having your first job interview and job placement, in year 10, I think it is still, it's really scary. So we want to make it not scary for you. And as we said, be your besties in your safe haven.
Amazing.
Well, thanks for joining me, Julia. I can't wait
to
get into the guts of it, the next conversation. And as Julia said, please let us know what you want us to talk about, what is on your mind, what is like the hot topic, I suppose, at the moment. And we can definitely cover it, or we can just base the podcast around it. So thank you so much for joining me again, Julia.
Thank you, Tess. It's been lovely.
And we will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye, guys.